Is love really so essential for believers in Jesus Christ? Well, yes it is, and you need to find out why. First of all, it's a commandment from Jesus. John chapter 15 and verse 12 lays it out pretty clearly when Jesus himself said, "This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you." So as children of God, it's our calling not just to talk about love, but to walk the talk, to actually demonstrate it. And yes, that's difficult. We're only humans, right? But it's behavior like this that sets us apart from the world, so that the world can see that we are living as Christians and not like everyone else. Okay, so that's the theory. But how do we go about living up to this commandment from Jesus? Well, first of all, it means not letting bitterness take root in your heart. And most importantly, don't give hatred any room to grow there. But how do we do this in practice? How do we show our love to others? Because that theory and reality can be two very different things. So let's take a look at some biblical ways on how to actually show that love in action. Romans chapter 12 and verse 17 reminds us to never pay back evil with more evil. Do things in a way that shows everyone you're honorable. Yes, it's almost instinctual to want to retaliate when someone hurts us. I'll get you back, we think. But that's part of our sinful, old nature. Living for God means breaking that cycle of tit for tat. The Bible makes it very clear in the New Testament. No more eye for an eye. Instead, we as believers should be genuinely affectionate towards one another, genuinely loving and rejoicing in the people around us. Now, this is important. Often, we love people because of what they can do for us. But God calls us to a higher standard, to love everyone just as Christ did. And don't miss this gem from Romans chapter 12 and verse 18. If it's possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. Our world loves to stir up division, be it political, racial, or economic. But God calls us to be peacemakers, not necessarily always in agreement, but at peace as much as we can manage. As long as we're not breaking any biblical principles, let's agree to disagree sometimes. Maybe that means we take the initiative to mend broken relationships, maybe reach out to someone who's wronged you. Making peace with those around you is an act of you honoring God. So, as believers in Jesus, we are called to love others because Jesus loved us first, even when we were far from perfect. So we, in turn, as we try to be like Jesus, also have to try to do the perfect thing. And it is forgiveness that's the key here. Because we've been forgiven, we should forgive others. And love is the answer, because we've experienced it ourselves. But do those who have wronged you deserve your grace? Well, let me answer that question with a question. Do you deserve your grace from heaven above? So, extend grace to others because we've received it first. Let go of bitterness. Release that hatred. Jesus loved us in our imperfections, and we should love one another in Him. And if someone does hurt you, remember, forgiving and moving on is in your best interest. Matthew chapter 6 and verse 15 spells it out quite clearly. If you do not forgive others their trespasses, your Father won't forgive yours either. So here's the encouragement for each one of you hearing this message today. Love like Christ. Be quick to forgive and aim to mirror Jesus in all that you do. Now, love. What's it all about? And why does the Bible talk about it so much? Why is love so vital for a believer in Jesus Christ? Well, the Bible tells us in John chapter 3 and verse 16, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. Jesus himself said, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart and soul and mind," and added, "Love your neighbor as yourself." He emphasized loving one another just as he loved us. So having the love of God in your heart is like a badge of honor for those who truly walk with him. It means you care deeply about where someone's soul will spend eternity. It's a love that selflessly puts the glory of Jesus Christ above personal gain. As I was digging through the Word of God, I was looking out for practical examples of godly love. You know, how does that love your neighbor as yourself look in real life? Well, the start of 1 Corinthians chapter 13 gives us a seriously vivid picture of practical godly love. And it's not just talk, it's actions. Here's what it says. "If I speak in the tongues of men or of angels, but do not have love, I am only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have a faith that can move mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give all I possess to the poor and give over my body to hardship that I may boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing." Oof, that's a wake-up call, isn't it? But it goes on. "Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails." So there you have it. Even the most remarkable spiritual gifts or knowledge are worthless without love. We may not have all the answers, but when we love, we reflect God's nature. Love transcends worldly wisdom. It's a testament to our growth from spiritual childhood to maturity. For now, we may not fully get it, but one day we'll see Jesus face to face and understand fully. Until then, please do remember that faith, hope, and love remain, but the greatest of these is love. So, in Jesus' mighty name, get loving. God bless you.